I'm on a mountaintop in Polk County, Tennessee, among giant trees and amazing look-offs, and this is a Nose for Life. So yes, I am on a somewhat grueling hike here on Smith Mountain in East Tennessee. Now, we are going on a hiking trip in a couple of weeks. It won't be anything like this. This is a pretty intense hike as far as the gradient that we're walking and everything today. But on July 15th at 8 a.m., we're gonna meet and have a fantastic hike, and I want you to be a part of that. And I want to tell you a little bit about it before we talk about my hike today on Smith Mountain. So at 8 a.m., we're gonna meet at Webb's store on July 15th. I've left a link in the description below. We'll meet here, we'll kind of hang out for a while, make sure we've got everybody, and then we'll head to Lost Creek. Lost Creek is about 20 minutes from here. We're gonna carpool to that direction, and then we'll take off on our hike from there. It's going to be really fun. Now, our event is only scheduled for about 4 hours, and that includes meeting here, going to our place that we're going to hike, the hiking trip, and even getting back here. That includes all of it, and it probably won't take all 4 hours. We're really just getting started with our hiking trips and whatnot. You want to make sure that you have enough time, though, on that Saturday, on July 15th, to be able to see the rest of this area. Maybe even schedule a trip down the Hiwassee. You can contact Webb's Floating Service, and they can help you. Again, the link is in the description below. So if you like a nice, gentle raft, I mean, it's an amazing river. There's a couple of Class 3 rapids, but most of the rapids on the Hiwassee River, they're either Class 1 or Class 2, so it's a great family event. If you want to bring your family out here, you can do a quick hike, an enjoyable mountain hike, and then come down here and raft the Hiwassee. It's pretty awesome. The name of this little town area, you've heard me refer to it in other parts of this video, is Reliance. Reliance is a little township or a little town that was located on the banks of the Hiwassee River. And it's just a nice little historic district. There's some amazing sights to see here. So again, you want to make sure that you leave yourself plenty of time to kind of see the sights and of course see the mighty Hiwassee River. If you live within 100 miles, I would make plans to spend your whole weekend here. It is an amazing place. Now listen, I grew up around here. I don't live here now. I live about an hour right across the Tennessee Valley towards the Cumberland Plateau, but I've already done about 3 videos in this area, or 4 or 5, heck, I can't even remember. I'll link to some of those in the description below because some of our first videos when we were still learning to make YouTube videos were actually shot right here in Reliance, Tennessee. For some reason, I always come back to Reliance when it comes to doing any type of creative project because I absolutely love this place. I mean, whether it's the beautiful flowers or whether it's the amazing Hiwassee River or Lost Creek where we're gonna be doing our hiking, I absolutely love this place. Now, it's a beautiful day here in Reliance, but it is hot. Lost Creak Recreation area is in the Cherokee National Forest. But the reason why we're meeting at Webb Float Service or the Webb store is because over the past 25 years, it has proven very difficult to give people instructions on how to get to Lost Creek Campground. And in our age where we always have our phone and our apps in order to get to from one place to another with GPS, it's even hard with GPS sometimes. And the best place to navigate first is to the Webb store because I haven't had any kind of GPS-oriented glitches from the main highway there, whether it's 411 or wherever you're coming in from, to Webb store. But after Webb store here in the mountains, GPS gets a little weird and shaky depending on the type of cell service that you have. And what you really need to explore the Cherokee National Forest in its totality is a topographical map, and you can order those from the Park Service, and I'll put a link in the description below. Now, the road to the Lost Creek Campground is about 7 miles. It's a gravel road. It's pretty dusty. You don't want to wash your car before you come, but it's a pretty clear road. Everything looks good. This time of year, you don't run into any kind of road issues. They keep it pretty amazing for tourists and people who love to hike and do what we're doing. Now, during the late fall and during the winter months, it can get kind of tricky back here, but not this time of year. This time of year, we should be good to go. This is also a phenomenal road network to just get lost on. I would come here a few times before I tried that, but believe it or not, there are a lot of amazing outlets here all the way down to the Hiwassee where you can just follow different gravel, dirt roads, all kinds of different places. You want to make sure that you pack a lunch and have a full tank of gas because you can get turned around back here, but it's not big enough to totally get lost in. So Lost Creek Campground is a pretty neat place if you live in the Tennessee Valley and are, well, within 100 miles of the Tennessee Valley and you want a nice place to camp that is in the middle of nowhere. This is a great place to camp. You know, the reason why I'm up here this week is to kind of do a recon of where we're going to go hiking here in the mountains of East Tennessee and make sure everything's kosher, make sure that the trail is good, make sure that everything is working right on these roads, that there's not a log in front of the road or anything like that. And so far, everything looks great. Behind me is the Lost Creek Campground, And normally this time of year at most campgrounds across the United States, well, they're packed, and you can smell the grilling and the charcoal in the air and hear the kids playing in the creek or whatever the case is. But Lost Creek is really up here in the mountains. And so people that come here are typically some serious camping people. So it kind of gets a little crowded on the weekend, but as you can see during the week, there's just not a lot of people here at all. But on the Saturday that we're doing our hiking trip, there'll probably be some people here, you know, camping out. And if you wanted to camp out up here, that'd be great. Just send me an inbox through our Facebook page at billmarion.life and say, hey, we're camping up at Lost Creek. We'll meet you near the Lost Creek Trail. This is probably one of my favorite campgrounds on the planet. Again, as you can see, there's just nobody here. It's in the middle of the week. And that's what I love about it, is that it's sort of, I call it East Tennessee's best kept secret. So if you want your privacy and you want that place here in the East Coast, because you can go out west to get this too, but there's not a lot of places east of the Mississippi where you can really get away like this. And nobody knows about this. I keep trying to tell people about this because I don't want to lose it. And I'm afraid that if more people don't come up here and enjoy what's up here, that the National Forest will do something else with it, because there's talks about that. So I'm really grateful that we still have it here. But this is an amazing place. And they have bathrooms. I mean, they're not the greatest bathrooms in the world, but they have bathrooms. I'm just saying. Behind me is one of about a dozen trailheads we might use on that Saturday. Now I'm gonna have to look. I'm doing a recon today, so I'm having to look at several trails to figure out which one that we want to use. But that we're gonna carpool to the location of the trailhead. Now we're gonna try to stay as close to the campground as possible, just to make it fun and light and easy. This trail in particular is a little too difficult as far as the incline on the return trip, and so I don't know if we're probably not gonna use this one. However, I did want to point out a few things. Behind me, you should be able to notice that the grass is about shin length, you know, knee, shin. So it's probably a better idea to wear pants, but you definitely want insect repellent, something with DEET in it, and a whole lot of it. You also want to make sure you have a good pair of hiking boots. Some people can get by with tennis shoes, and that's fine. That's completely up to you. But I'm a boots guy, so I'll have some type of boot on out here, and of course the insect repellent. Lots of water. It is summer, and picking a date like July 15th, you know, it's because that's where we were at when we decided to do a hiking video like this, where we invite other people. So July 15th is, you know, it's in the middle of summer. You're in East Tennessee. You are at a higher elevation, and it's cooler, but it's not that much cooler. So you want to make sure you bring plenty of water. We'll bring some extra, but make sure that you bring plenty of water and some kind of a source of protein, some type of maybe some peanut butter, some nuts, whatever the case is. I like almonds, but whatever you like is fine. Just remember, whatever you bring in, we bring back out. We don't leave anything for the animals to consume or any type of garbage. You know, we don't leave any type of garbage at all. So whatever you take into the woods, we take back out of the woods. I run into people all the time who kind of get turned around back here on these roads, and it's really easy to. I mean, the roads go to the right, to the left, they kind of disappear in some places. And there's some awesome views on top of these ridge lines. So a lot of people drive around back here, they're looking for bear or deer, or they're looking for some of these amazing views on these ridge lines, and there are amazing views back here. Smith Mountain behind me here is probably my favorite place to hike once you pass Lost Creek. And a lot of people don't associate Smith Mountain with the Lost Creek Recreation area, and that's for good reason. This is where I would love to have our first A Nose for Life hiking trip. I really would, but it's too hard to give people directions back here. What I'd like to do is establish a hiking community here in this area and reach out through YouTube or Facebook or VidMe or whatever source of social media we're using at the time. And sometime, especially this fall, come back to Smith Mountain. It is my favorite place to hike. The views are amazing. The scenery through the forest is amazing. And you're liable to see all kinds of different wildlife, but it's a pretty great area. Stay connected, because this is something I really want to do this fall. It's a little too warm for most people right now, not for me, because it's absolutely beautiful. And also I'd have to give you some different directions on the way in, because the road is kind of crazy on this part of the Kimsey Highway. It's I think it's Route 80 if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not. It's 23. Sorry, it's 23. The trail is 81. If you have a topographical map, or some people say topographical, however you want to say that. If you have a topo, you can look this trail up. If you have a Lost Creek Recreation Area topo, you can actually look this trail up. It's pretty awesome, and you can see what I'm talking about as far as the view, because you're actually walking on a very steep ridge line. Once you get up there, you're walking on a very steep ridge line, so you've got a view to the right and to the left. So it's pretty cool. So let's say that you do the motorcycle thing. Well, this is actually a great place to ride motorcycles as well. Sometimes if you're hiking up there, it's difficult when the motorcycle's here, but if you do dirt biking, I recommend Smith Mountain because it's one of the few, if only places, if I'm not mistaken, in this region of the Cherokee Forest that you can actually ride a dirt bike. So if I was a dirt bike kind of CRX guy or whatever the case is, I would be bringing my motorcycles up here all the time because it is cool. It's a really great place to ride, and guess what? You can also bring your horses up here. So if you have horses and you're looking for new places to ride, and let's say you're not from Tennessee, that you live somewhere up in the Northeast or the Midwest, which by the way, thank you for watching. This is a great place to bring horses. So this Smith Mountain Trail, you can actually look it up. You can look it up on the internet, put Smith Mountain Trail, East Tennessee hiking or whatever the case is, and you'll get something that comes up telling you more about this trail. And I'll try to put some links in the description as well. And isn't it cool the way my face kind of like glows in different ways as the sun hits my eyeballs and I'm having to squint? Anyway, it's still nice up here. And it's cooler here than it was lower down when we were farther down the valley. It's actually cooler here. So it's not as hot and miserable as it was just a few minutes ago down by the river. Be a man down by the river. And this is a special shout out to my daughter, Anna, my firstborn, who went to college last year. And she's back home for the summer and she's amazing. Thank you for not taking my mosquito repellent out of the truck. You are awesome. I love you. Now, I just ate, so I'm not worried about bringing any type of protein source with me up on the mountain, but I'm definitely going to bring a full bottle of water. Why? Because I'm going to lose a whole bunch of water from here to the top of the ridge line. I want to make sure that I stay hydrated so I feel good tomorrow. Even if I don't fully dehydrate, when you come out to nature and you bake here in the sun and you sweat a whole bunch, it can give you a headache the next day. You may not pass out and die, but I've noticed that I feel better the next day. I recuperate quicker if I have some water, especially on long hikes. But don't forget to do it on the short hikes too. Take water and drink all of it. Smith Mountain Trail number 81. My favorite trail in East Tennessee. I love this place. So have you ever hiked Smith Mountain Trail number 81? Let me know in the comments below. I love it up here. On a day like today, when there's not a lot of people out, I like to do a very quiet hike. And the reason why is because there's a lot of bear up here. There's a lot of movement in the woods, so I hope we get some great video. I'm up here at the top of the Smith Mountain Ridge line, and I'm walking a really narrow trail. It's very narrow. I have to be very careful. But despite how quiet I'm trying to be, I keep running off all kinds of animals before I even get places. What I love about Smith Mountain, though, is that the elevation isn't crazy. Probably around 2,000 feet, 2,200 feet, give or take. I don't think it's quite 3,000. I'll have to look it up. But despite how high it is, there's plenty of water in the rock here, so there's a lot of wildlife. Now, I'm getting carried off by bugs despite 15 layers of mosquito repellent, but it's still worth my time up here. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. Now, if you live in North Carolina close to Joyce-Kilmer National Park, these trees probably don't seem that big to you. And in fact, using the camera that I'm using now, they probably don't seem that big to you either. But trust me, they're enormous. In fact, if you live on the West Coast and you see the redwood trees or the sequoias, these aren't that big either. But for East Tennessee, these trees are enormous. Trust me, they are absolutely beautiful. Now you have to hike all the way up to the ridge line to see the beautiful trees. But once you're up here, they are fantastic. I mean, they look like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. It's Treebeard up in here walking around or something. Absolutely beautiful. This tree right here is absolutely huge. You know, I don't know if there are underwater springs here on the top of the mountain. There has to be, because there's so much vegetation up here, and it's just lush. And of course, the mosquitoes are carrying me away, and of course, in the flies and so on. So there's got to be a lot of springs underneath the rock up here on top of Smith Mountain. We live within 100 miles of the Hiwassee River, or 100 miles of, let's say, Cleveland, Tennessee, or Chattanooga. You've really got to check it out up here. It's pretty awesome. The road leading to this, to this mountain, it's a dirt road, and it's in the middle of nowhere. And it's hard to believe that these places still exist. And I'm convinced that as far as Tennessee's concerned, this is probably as far out as you can get, because even in the Smoky Mountains, I love the Smokies. Love the Smokies. Favorite set of mountains, of course. The Smokies meet with 10 million other people who visit the park every year up there, right? And yet, wherever you go up there, just about, there's access to a highway or a road somewhere. But here, you really are in the middle of nowhere. But I did make a crucial mistake today on my hike, and I wanted to share it with you and just be open and honest. I brought my water, And of course, I'm timing my trip. But one of the things that I did mess up on is that my cell phone, when I brought it out here, was only at about 30%. That was a big mistake. Now, there's no cell service here. I wouldn't get a phone call. But cell phones are good for other reasons too. So it's a good idea to make sure that your cell phone is 100% charged or close to it before you get here. I wasn't even paying attention. Mosquito got me. I wasn't even paying attention. And when I got out here, I realized that mosquito keeps wanting in my eyeball, but I realized how low my charge was. So that's something that I'm hoping not to do again. I got to keep walking. These mosquitoes are going to carry me away. I'm really looking forward to our channel getting bigger. And one of the reasons why, and I know it's going to get huge. And one of the reasons why is so that we can get better equipment to film things, because this cell phone just doesn't do the view back here justice, or the view over there. So either way of this ridge line here, I've got this amazing, unbelievable view, and it just takes your breath away, but I can't capture it. So you can actually help this channel grow, and here's how you can do it. First of all, share this on your Facebook, share this on all of our videos on any social media, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you use. If you could share this, I would greatly appreciate that, and invite people to join our community. And share our Facebook page, and that's Bill Marion Life. That's at Bill Marion Life. And of course on Twitter, it's Bill and Carolyn, or at Bill and Carolyn. We would love for you to connect with you through social media, but share our Facebook page, share this channel, share this video, because we want to grow this channel so we can bring you better videos. Hey, just a couple of things real quick. If you're a subscriber to A Nose for Life, I just want to say welcome back. Make sure that you join our Facebook page and click that little bell for notifications. That way you can be informed when we release a new video. And through Facebook, any type of activity that we're doing in the Tennessee Valley, or anything that you're wanting to be a part of, you can be notified through Facebook, and that's at Bill Marion Life. And if you're not a subscriber, I just want to say welcome, and sorry about the shaky cam, but we're going to get better at that. I hope you'll watch some of our other videos and join our Facebook page as well. Again, that's at Bill Marion Life. And again, that's Facebook. We're on top of Smith Mountain now. Look at that view behind me. Can you see it? You probably can't, because this camera is just not the kind of thing that you want to use when you're trying to get shots like that, but this is the camera that I have to use for now. For now, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Here on top of Smith Mountain in East Tennessee, in the Cherokee National Forest, just outside of the Lost Creak Recreation area, about 20 minutes from Lost Creek Campground, that you can find Smith Mountain. It is by far my favorite place to hike in the Cherokee National Forest. There are other great places. Big Frog Wilderness area in general is an amazing place to hike. And most people, when they come to the Cherokee National Forest, that's where they go, because it's awesome. It really is. But my favorite place, for a variety of reasons, is Smith Mountain Road here, or Smith Mountain Trail number 81. I love creating video content for the web. We've been doing this for about a year. And so whether it's on VidMe or YouTube, thank you so much for watching today. I love this mountaintop up here. Again, you can check out, maybe you can see the view better, but you almost have a 360-degree view up here of the mountains that surround this area. And I'm telling you, it is just an amazing place. The air is even cleaner up here, but it is still a hot summer day, so I am definitely perspiring, having to keep the water in me, but I'm looking forward to future trips that we take up here where we give Smith Mountain a try. Now, this first hike again that we're doing for A Nose for Life, we're going to meet at Webb store, and we're actually going just a little past the Lost Creek Campground area, so we're definitely not going to be coming to Smith Mountain on our first hike as a group, but on future hikes, we're definitely going to check this place out up here on Smith Mountain. And remember, July 15th, we meet at Webb store at 8 a.m. That's Webb store in Reliance, Tennessee. And if you are going, I would really appreciate it if you would go to our Facebook page, and that's at Bill Marion Life. Again, that's Facebook. And just send me a message through the Facebook message system there, and just let me know your name and that you're coming, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.
I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have some time, check out some of these other videos. Again, I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.